Okay. Let's give this run a shot. Let me start this guy. Ready, set. He's not dead. Get your fat ass down here, bitch. I have no strategy to beat this guy. killed me? One 30 seconds late. It's bad. It's pretty rusty. I'll attribute it to that. To switch that part up. This motherfucker. Yo, what's up, Space Clan? Do you remember this show? This game is long. I'm trying not to get just last place, but I'm like 4 minutes off or something. So I don't know. I don't want to keep running this one because it's just so long. I want to learn other retro games to speedrun besides Kaizo games. I speedran 2 today that I'm ready to submit times for, which I at least got second place, so I'm over those, and I'm looking for another one to run. And I saw that there's a hack called Quest for Corgi Butts that's on the leaderboards now over at speedrun.com, so I might learn that one next. And it has 2 categories, which is pretty cool. You never watched the show? Yeah, I mean, it was one of those classic 90s cartoons, you know? In that same era of, like, Captain Planet and SWAT Cats and just the same kind of cartoons that came out. It was cool. I just remember I used to watch it a lot. I think it's because it was just on, not necessarily because I followed it. Oh my god, this fat ass motherfucker. Quest for waff butts, I know. So I should learn that one next. My goal has been at least one speedrun a month. One Kaizo speedrun a month and one retro would be pretty ideal. There's a lot of retro ones I'd like to run. Most of them are beat 'em ups. The live action show? I remember the live action show of Turtles? I remember the movie, but not the show so much. I remember the Mario live show tripped me out when I was a kid. It'd go back and forth between animation and live action. I used to watch that one a lot. They added a girl turtle. I don't remember that. Did they have the same get-ups as the, the first Mario, or not Mario, Ninja Turtles, those awesome costumes? Second-rate version of those costumes? Oh, okay. More like Turtles 3? Oh, the one where they time traveled? That's when they jumped the shark, man. It was already pretty weird with them being teenage mutant Ninja Turtles. And then they have to throw in time travel. It's like, okay, take it easy, J.J. Abrams. Just because you can't write an ending. Jumps even more sharks. Cheesy old shows, yeah. Bitch. Damn it. Got him. How do I optimize it? I don't, dude. I just try not to get last place. That's it. That's it. I would have stopped speedrunning this a while ago if I wasn't like 4 minutes off last place. I don't optimize it. I just try to put a respectable time up on the boards. That's it. Damn, that one was 4 minutes slow. It's not good. I mean, in reality, if you needed to, it's just about like knowing what combos work. Like for some guys, I have to pick them up and then hit them a couple times. Some I could just toss. Some it's more beneficial to toss. Like these guys, 1 or 2 hits. These guys are a little bit longer, so it does more damage if I don't slam them to the ground, and it's just, input manipulations in that aspect of it. But, to get really good at these, especially beat 'em ups, nah, I'm not gonna spend the time to do that. I just want respectable times. If last place is like an hour and 13 minutes, like this one I think is, I don't want to get 2 hours, I want to not get last place, but if I get last place, I don't want it to be such a big discrepancy from the last place time. They're just PBs that I have, not necessarily, you know, I'm not putting in the effort to actually get world record or a good time or whatever. It's just, if I like to play it, I want to get a respectable time. That's it. My favorite beat 'em up? I don't know. Overall, probably just Turtles because it's been my favorite. Tattoo Man is related to Mario? Why? Because he's balding? Or because he's so small? Turtles in Time? Yeah, probably. Just because, yeah, I grew up with the Ninja Turtles. I swear I hit that guy more. Oof, this is, I don't think I'm doing very well. I'm just rusty on this. Knights of the Round? I think I remember that one. Alien vs. Predator is a beat 'em up? I thought that was a fighting game. Was I wrong about that? I thought that was a fighting game. I should look that one up, see if there's a time for that. I think I have that for my little SNES. Fuck. What? That motherfucker can hit me? It's too tall to hit me from up there. This fucking... Only on arcade. This is a weird boss fight. It's okay, I'll take it. Come on, he's almost dead. Give me a fucking break, dude. I got a fucking gold there? How the hell did I do that? Beat 'em up is only arcade. Battletoads and Double Dragon might be your favorite. Man, those are hard. Glod. Glod indeed. Space Clan Glod. Let's see. Where is this motherfucker? I know there's a ledge there. This ass needs to fall off. What the fuck? These dunks. Oh my god. I know that's how the speedrunners do it, is they just chuck these people off the ledges. Oh no, come on. Get your ass off the ledge, dude. He's still alive? This motherfucker. He's dead now. This motherfucker. I thought that thing was gonna block him. Are you kidding me? He's not dead? What? Where'd this motherfucker come from? Okay, take these guys out first. I've never played the Genesis version of this now. I know they were so different. All the games that came out for both systems, they were each so different. This motherfucker. He wasn't that far, really? I thought they only charged if they're really far away. Serious. Fucking kidding me. It's like a bad platformer. What's the boss? Oh, these guys, okay. Bastards. I'm pretty sure these are all characters from the cartoons. This guy's still alive? Get this motherfucker out of here. Oh, 2 minutes behind. Damn. I don't know, whatever I might finish with this might be it for me. For runs of Darkwater. No, more of 90s. I guess, yeah, you can be more of both, because the 80s weren't cool until at least the mid 80s. Oh, those pigs. I hate those fucking pigs. The 80s weren't cool until at least the mid 80s. No one cares about 1981. So I'm definitely in the thick of that for sure. I would definitely say I'm more of a 90s. I started kindergarten in 1990, so my entire childhood was through the 90s. For sure. So yeah, is definitely not an 80s kid. Born in the 80s, but probably a 90s kid. And all the 80s stuff didn't get appreciated until after the 80s anyways. It was around the 90s that stuff got appreciated. The RoboCops and the Ghostbusters. No, I think the 80s babies are more like what do they call them? Gen X? Gen Xers? I would say they're more of an 80s baby. You were 3 in the 1990s. 1990 exactly. No, I was 1990. Yeah, I was starting elementary school at that point. I don't know what the fuck's happening right now. That spike hit me? The fuck? These fucking stairs, dude. No, not by much. Not by much if that's the case. No, definitely not a Gen Xer. Those are the ones that are a bit off. Gen Xers are a bit off. At least all the ones that I've come across are. I'm sure there's good ones out there, but Facebook is a Gen Xer. All the ones that I've come across, man, they're just a bit off. They're the ones that got caught in between. Oh, these fucking pigs, dude. They fuck me up. They've kind of been forgotten. Well, I mean, they haven't attributed anything. They haven't attributed anything. I mean, look at the stuff that's been most impactful. It was like a dead period as far as like cultural impacts. Not in the same way that, I mean, stuff didn't happen in those years. That happened in like the mid 80s, the 90s. It's not their fault. It's just they're recognized with a period of almost, of some kind of staleness. There's not really much happening around those times. There's nothing being identified with that group around those times. It was just an in-between time. No one talks about them. Yeah, it's because they didn't do anything. It's just like if you try to think around what happened around that time, it wasn't much. It was before that and then after that, where things that happened culturally kind of identified and represented the generation at that moment. I mean, even music, and it was like a transitional period in pop music, before like thrash metal hit, and they just kind of like got caught in between. And then in the 90s, I mean, not only do you have like the video game aspect of it, but the internet, obviously, huge deal. Early 90s, where it started hitting culturally, like everyone. So Gen X just has nothing bad. It's just, their stopgap. Every century has one, I'm sure. But for some reason they think they are a lot better than a lot of people. At least the ones that I've come across. It's like, no, take it easy, man. PG on quitting Kaizo. What? You quit Kaizo? The internet is a giant cultural shift, man. Can you imagine? It's hard, dude. It's hard to even imagine the world without internet, right? Even though that we've lived it to where we don't have internet. There is millions of people. Oh, you're gonna quit? Then you accidentally did. There's millions of people that cannot even begin to imagine life without the internet or without a cell phone. It's always been there, so it's normal. Whereas us growing up around our generation, we've had it without and with the internet. So it's a huge deal. It's a huge distinction. People that can't even wrap their mind around that. You one-shot suffering, huh? Damn. You're not gonna quit Kaizo, dude. You just barely came back for it. This month. You were trying to be hip? Don't be a hipster, man. They're wasteful people. These fucking pigs, man. I haven't avoided one single one. Man, these fat ass motherfuckers. Watch Kaizo still in your future? Yeah, what are you planning on playing next, man? There's so many hacks out there. So many hacks out there, and I have to choose my time carefully with the hacks that I play, which I usually learn to speedrun shorter hacks, and when I do, I like save. Oh, motherfucker! No, don't play, dude. This is the thing. If you ever go into the Super Mario channel, there's always 5 things being played. The same 5 shit. You're gonna see a morsel hack being played. You're gonna see one of the Grand Prix worlds being played. You're gonna see Dram, and then you're gonna see the starters. Quickie 1, 2, or Akagari is always gonna be in there. And on top of that, you're always gonna see someone playing Invictus. You always see the same 5 groups of things being played in Super Mario World. And it's cool because a lot of people are trying to, get good at Kaizo, but man, as a viewer, that shit gets so old seeing the same hacks being played. Yeah, seriously, that's why I went into retro, man. I would randomly see like other hacks being played, but other games from my childhood, but man. And then, when a new hack does come out, the same like people that are on the, what is that expression, on the coattails of that, play the same damn hack. All of a sudden one hack comes out, and all of a sudden 6 other people are like, oh, new hack, you're playing the same one. And that's like, oh, okay. There's so many hacks that come out there that are, of course, not as great as Grand Prix World 2, but they're still pretty good hacks, And I just get tired of seeing the Invictus, the Morsel hack, the Dram World, the Quickie 1, 2, and 3, and the Grand Prix Worlds. It's gotten old, man. It's gotten old. when you see the same stuff. And there's so many hacks that come out that it's just crazy. Crazy that it's just limited to that. Yeah, the hanging with Mr. Koopa one isn't that bad. That one's not that bad. And then you have man, there's just so many other good ones out there. There's Super Joe Bros. There's Little Mario World is a good one. Mez World is pretty good. Oh wait, did I double skip? I think I double skipped. Oh well. No, this is the level I'm on now. Okay, I think I skipped twice. I think I did. So I noticed that after a while of hanging out in the Mario World channel, especially after not streaming and checking out stuff, I got tired of seeing the same things. And when there's so many more other hacks out there, and even like I said, dude, even if they're not the best designed, you know, they're all not Grand Prix World 2, they're all not up to that standard, they're still pretty good hacks. And you know, there's no reason to shit on the hack creators that make them. Of course, they might not be the best level design, but I don't know, everyone's just expecting it to be on the level of things of you know, the nature of those 5 hacks that are always out. Even starter hacks, everyone compares them to quickie worlds, and of course it's just not going to be on that level, man. You know, Valdio's a way better creator than these first time creators. It doesn't mean their hacks are terrible, you know, it's just they're not as good. But still, you see the same shit. Nope, you gotta play Dram, you gotta play Invictus, you gotta play one of the Grand Prix Worlds, you gotta play one of the morsel hacks. And after you see all that same shit over and over again, it's just, you know, change the channel. Because there's a lot of good hacks, they just kind of get disrespected. Not even disrespected, just neglected because of well, arrogance, really. Yeah, you play these hard ones. I would play stuff like Dode World or Ultra Kaiser World too, but those are the ones that don't work on my SNES. Even an easier one that I tried to play called Take It Easy World, it doesn't work. It works up until I get to a certain boss, and then I don't think that boss works with my SNES Classic. It just freezes the game. That happens with Terminus 3 also. Same shit. See, I don't know if on this part, me hitting these guys makes a difference. It's the only reason why I'm out here trying to punch these guys. I think it makes a difference. If that could ever be fixed. No, I don't think so. It's just my little SNES Classic just is not meant to handle that kind of stuff that can go on an emulator. If it could be on a... oh, these fucking things. If it could be on a regular SNES, then it's fine. The thing is even though things like Dode World and Ultra Kaiser World and Take It Easy World and even Legends of Mario, that game, even though they don't work on the SNES, for every one that doesn't work, there's like 5 other ones that do work. So I can't really complain, you know, because one might not work. I mean, I still am able to download like 5 other hacks that, oh, these motherfuckers, dude. I'm still able to download and play 5 other hacks that do work. So it's not really worth the trouble of getting like an NT. I have no idea how to set up an emulator. You know, it's not really necessary because for every one that won't work, there's 5 other ones that do, and they're just as fun, you know? Oh, these fat asses. But yeah, I got tired of the seeing the same stuff in Super Mario World. You know, I don't know if I have a better computer that's upstairs that I'll probably end up using for streaming, and it's a Mac Mini. And if there's a way I could do that, like I just have no idea about it, dude. But if I really wanted to get set up, which down the road I probably would, I would definitely let you know, man. I just I know there's some stuff that just doesn't work with a Mac that does with PC, and the reason why I have a Mac is because I use Logic, the recording program. But it's a really good computer, way better than the one that I'm on now. So I may do that in the future, but for now it's just not really a priority with my little SNES working in this computer. I mean, if it's just to set up the an emulator, I mean, I really don't know what it entails, but it's not like I can't use this computer that I'm on now. It's just I have a really good computer upstairs, and I could use that one. What? Like hit him and me? Fucking pigs. I feel like I'm really slow. Oh, these pigs, dude. Your Fruity Loops kid? Yeah, that one's very easy to use too. I was lucky because Logic is very user friendly, and when I got into recording, that's what my buddies had. And that's just what I learned with, and ever since then I've just only focused on that stuff. It's really easy to use. For how professional grade it is, it's great how easy it is to use. Yeah, Logic is definitely used by the pros, and that's something that just my buddies had when we were recording music and all that stuff, and it's super easy to use. That's the nice thing about it is professional grade and everything, but the simplicity of it is very user friendly, beginner friendly. I know if I ever play my music again, if I'm learning like a speedrun or something and I don't want to play this original music or the console music, I'm gonna have to put up something that says not to get DMCA'd because it's actually my music. Recording recently? No, not as much. Been having my hands full with the kid, obviously. I have a ton that is just unfinished. It either needs to be mixed or it needs to be just like it needs a vocal track or whatever. But I have a ton of tracks that are just like halfway, well, mostly done, just not completely done. And I'm talking like over 40 music tracks, like 4 albums worth, that I just don't have the motivation to finish, I guess. It is a lot though. And then I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to mixing. It'd be cool to be able to mix online, and yeah, it's a lot of tracks that I recorded with friends and stuff years ago that are, legit music tracks They have several guitar tracks on there. They have a drum track. They have a bass track, vocal track. It's, you know, been all the pre-production work is done. It's more like things. What the fuck? How did I beat this guy? Oh, I gotta slam him. That's what it is. Mixing is still a mystery. Yeah, you know, sometimes I've heard it's just what sounds good, but I don't have that kind of ear like some audio engineers do, to where, you know, they know this level of hertz is too much. You know, the cymbal is too loud because it's clashing with this. You know, when they break it down in that nerd kind of way, then I'm not really positive on what it is that they're talking about or what it is that they're even hearing. I just trust them at that point. My buddy's like that, and he does really have a good ear. But I know that for the most part, it's mixing on, you know, what sounds good, you know, what making it not sound bad. And then also having someone else listen to it that is not familiar with the music, because you get that fatigue of listening to the same thing, and you're kind of expecting it to sound a certain way, so your judgment could be clouded. So even having a fresh pair of ears listening to it can be way more beneficial than, you know, knowing the science behind it if it's your music. So you can only really get like halfway decent at mixing unless you're a pro, or unless you know what you're doing. But for the most part, it's about what feels good, or I mean, it's about what sounds good, and it's about, well, basically knowing what doesn't interfere with one another. But that's what I leave it up to the pros for. But you can always hear. It's like getting your paper revised when you write a paper. You need a fresh pair of eyes on it, because you had been working on it for so long and you're expecting to see these words. It's just the same idea. So mixing is tough, but I bet if you mix something that you've never heard before, you would, oh, what the fuck? You would do better at it than, or at least you would feel better about it than, oh shit, am I dead? You would feel better about it than mixing your own things over and over again. Yeah, and that's too easy to do, you know, become familiar with it. This is gonna take forever. But I don't know, I thought about doing that before. Mixing the stuff that I want to mix and then asking for help from chat, you know, that's someone that would know how to do that. You know, what I should avoid or what I shouldn't do, because like I said, there's like 40 tracks, man, of real songs, like 4 or 5, sometimes 7 or 8 minute songs, you know, not just and it's not like electronic stuff, you know, it's a lot of live guitar tracks, a lot of bass tracks. The drums are a factor. You got the filler guitars that are in there. Yeah, it's not like it's a bunch of electronic tracks, you know. It's all live recorded stuff, so there's a lot of factors as far as knowing what to look out for to record. Fuck, man. So it's a little bit different, and definitely more work. It's not like a hip-hop track, you know, where it's already clean guitars, already clean drums, you know, where it's all like sample-based stuff. It's different when you have different mics that you were using on different amps for different guitars, chasing a different tone. Sometimes most guitar amps have more than one microphone on there. So then it's finding the right balance of that stuff. It's harmonies in guitar? What do you mean? Like vocal harmonies? Oh, these fat ass motherfuckers are not gonna be able to make it over. Wrong way. Vocal harmonies. You do your own vocal harmonies? Vocal harmonies are hard to do. You ever practice doing that stuff? Like when you listen to a song on the radio or something, trying to figure out the harmony in it, or sing the harmony along to it. I do that all the time. Oh, these stupid ass pigs, man. They can do it on the fly with any song. Yeah, that's hard to do, man, because you just naturally want to sing the actual line. But yeah, it is hard. But I mean, even the sample tracks that you use with, like the stuff that comes in Logic, sounds pretty damn good. The sample tracks of the drums or whatever else you're trying to use, they sound pretty good in that program. It's not hard to make your own music. Oh, what the fuck? Especially these days. Wow, okay. It's just, you know, writing good music is different than just recording music. It's hard not to join the main melody, dude. That's like, I do the same stuff too, it just reverts to it. Your ear, like your inner ear, just wants to go back to doing what's normal, because it almost feels abnormal to do fuck that guy. It almost feels abnormal to do harmonies. You really have to like fight to not sing the main melody. But it's weird because when you guys are in harmony together and it sounds right, it actually feels good. I think it physically feels good. You can just tell, dude, when it's off and it just doesn't feel right. And it went horribly. I've never done too many open mic nights. It's just been shows, book shows, or opening up for certain people or whatever when I've had to play. And it's always been fun. It's just, I remember I got way more into the recording aspect of it. Just all the stuff that you can do and how much you can do at home and experimenting. And I lost the interest in playing live because it wasn't something to pursue. It's definitely a lot more fun to play live, but touring and all that stuff, man, that is just not a fun way to make a living. It didn't seem practical, it didn't seem enjoyable, it seemed like too much of a struggle. And even like today, you wouldn't be able to do that stuff. It just seems like so much work, man. And I remember early on too telling my friends, because I had a big group of friends back at home, and we had like our own place out there in the ranch where we could play. And I remember telling them early on, before that I knew, like maybe this was 5-6 years ago, maybe even longer. I think it was longer than that, so maybe like 8 or 9 years ago. I was trying to tell them, like, you know what we should do is we should just like put on shows from our house, but we'll just broadcast it Or if we record, you know, we could just like record that we're recording, if that made sense. And then, you know, if Twitch was around at that point, or at least if I had known about it at that point, then you could have totally done that and like build a brand and build a community as far as like our group of friends that played in bands with one another, different bands recorded different albums. You could have totally created something like that, but you know, it's too late for that now. Now it seems like it's the only way that you're going to be able to do anything like that thanks to the pandemic. You want to do a music stream but haven't pulled the trigger? I did a short one before, but I didn't have the best setup. That's when I first got my Mac upstairs. I didn't have the best setup. I think I need a different camera, one that works with a Mac, and a different capture card. It wasn't working, like the audio wasn't syncing up and stuff, so I've done it before. I would totally do it again. It's just I need to have a better setup upstairs. Oh, like this flying stuff? Yeah, I'm not sure when I'll do the next one. That's a waste of time. I don't even remember what I did. What I should do this next time is relearn the songs that I've written and perform them on bass. But I'd also like to learn how to mix, so I just don't have the time for that, all that stuff. This is taking way too long. Looks like Wonder Woman's on top of this dragon or chicken, whatever I'm on. Green chicken. Green featherless chicken. This is taking way too long. Wait. I could split. Dragon Chicken? It's a good band name. It's basically, I mean, you know anything about the whole Spotify and DMCA stuff? Is there things you could play on Spotify that you won't get in trouble for? Or I'm guessing that's what it is, right? They have their own library where you won't get in trouble. I really don't know. They sent an email before, but you know, who the hell reads emails? But is that why they have Spotify as like one of those things now that you can have on in your channel? It's because it will have copyright-free music. I mean, any classical music's fine, right? Because that's gone past the time. It's considered a public domain now. Mozart can't make money off his music anymore. Oh, I was just curious, man. I know it's not like you've been streaming a lot. These tremor looking things. Of course, I knew there was another one. I just couldn't remember where. Kind of a shitty year. Yeah, that's like the understatement of the year right there, dude. It's a very shitty year. It's crazy too. I saw it when it was coming, because we were, you know, I work at a hospital, So we were hearing about what was going on in like China and COVID and everything, the coronavirus. And all of a sudden, dude, the hospital got super serious about what these guidelines were gonna be. And I was panicked because of just how much stuff had changed at work that I knew was for real. And I remember like calling my parents and calling friends at home, being like, get to the grocery store, get your shit, and stay home, because this is about to happen. And then sure enough, like a week later, it was official, you know, where we went into that March lockdown here after San Francisco locked themselves down. But it still hasn't been well, man. It is as bad as they say. And thankfully where I work, it hasn't been as bad as other places that have gotten hit hard. But if things still stay on the trend that they're on right now, man, they're gonna be as bad as you saw in New York and stuff in you know, March and April. People don't want to wear masks, man. I don't get it. I don't get it, dude. But all I can say is, working at a hospital, man, I wish it was a hoax. I wish this shit was not real. I wish I didn't have to go on codes and stuff like that to intubate people. You know, I wish that they were actually actors faking it and stuff, but that's just not the case. Ours did, man. Ours did lock down, and then they locked down again because our small town outside of the main city had an incident happen with cops and stuff, and so there was BLM protests, and there's actually like fires, and it got pretty wild for a second, and they were worried about it, so a lot of places were curfewed early on, and that was like besides the coronavirus quarantine and stuff. But even that alone, dude, just, you know, one of the counties that's right next to us is one of the worst hit in California, and when they're full, we get their patients. So there's no way that anyone's not affected by this stuff, you know, whether you want to believe it's real or not. I just know that where I work and what I see and what I have to go to, I just wish it was a hoax, put it that way. I wish they were faking it. But, you know, that's not the case. So, like they say, man, it is what it is. But at least, I think at least because here in our regional area, we have so many hospitals and health conscious people that we're able to kind of slow the trend down compared to how other places have gotten hit. But we're no exception. Doesn't mean that we're not getting hit. We're just not getting hit as hard. Yeah, flatten the curve. I know people complain about like wanting to go to these businesses because they're not opened up, and like, you know, you wearing a mask helps them stay open. It helps everything keep going, and they just don't get it, dude. People just don't get it, you know. There's only so many times that you can tell someone, hey man, that fire over there, it gets hot, don't touch it, because once it's hot and you touch it, it hurts. I'm telling you, don't touch that fire, man. Don't touch that fire. There's only so many times that you can tell someone that until they have to touch it, burn the shit out of themselves, and then, you know, figure it out. But, you know, it's a little bit different when you're dealing with something that could affect other people. It's not like if you touch the fire, someone else gets burned. But that's exactly what happens with this COVID. Someone else also pays the price for it. And that's what they're trying to avoid, man. Because it's not so much, I mean, not having hospital beds is a huge deal. Huge deal. Because if you got these fools that do not want to wear a mask and are being ignorant and now have to be taking up resources at an ICU. And you have someone that, you know, is trying to play by the book, trying to do everything well, and then they suffer a stroke and there's no bed for them, or they have a heart attack and there's no bed for them because people didn't want to wear a mask. I mean, that's fucked up, you know. But you can't also be picking and choosing who you're going to take care of, because that's not a situation that doctors or healthcare workers are supposed to be placed into. It's just a no-win situation when people are being ignorant, and no one wins. No one wins. It could be that it's a selfish thing, or it's just a lack of deep understanding, or a failure to understand in a complex way, if that makes sense. It's, I mean, if someone can't understand something complex, are they being selfish or are they just stupid? You know? And if they're being selfish, then that's worse than being stupid, because they know what not to do and still do it. But, you know, you can't give credit to that many people for being smart, because there's a lot of morons out there. And there are a ton. Shit, I forgot about that part. Yeah. I mean, even just like tonight here over in one of the condos, a few doors over, you know, they had people, they were eating outside and everything. They were eating outside, but they were getting together, you know. And it's just, man, just not now. You know, just not right now. Just don't do it right now. You know, you can eat that meal later. But it's hard to say, man. It's hard to just tell people, you know, don't go see family during the holidays. People just, it's different when, like, if there was a generation that was close to us that have gone through something like this, then it would be more plausible for us to be more conscious about it. But this hasn't happened in like 3 or 4 generations, which means that the people that have gone through something like this are few and far in between. So that lesson from the elders that should be there is just not, because this is not a thing that happens like every 20 or 30 years. You know, this is like once every 100 years. So who's going to really have the guidance to do it? Besides, you know, relying on science and numbers, but then there's some people that feel like the jury's still out on science and numbers. So how are you gonna win with people like that? And the answer is you don't. The answer is some people get burned. And that's it, man. It's rough. Nah, it's a different kind of, you know, there's stupidity, and then there's people that are just straight morons that don't get it, that are incapable of thinking beyond themselves. Objective thinking is something that doesn't exist to them because it simply can't. Those are the morons. The people that like have to party. I mean, you don't have to be, anyone could be a moron. Look at the Kardashians throwing parties and shit. Morons, dude. Morons. Anyone could be a moron. But you know, it's not gonna, unfortunately, at this point, especially here in California, I don't think people are really gonna shape up until you start seeing, you know, until they start seeing those refrigerated trucks with the morgue, or the refrigerated trucks that are serving as morgues with the bodies in there. When they start seeing their hospitals overwhelmed, that's, you know, that's when people be like, oh shit, I guess I should take this seriously. And like I said, some people have to burn their hand on the stove before they find out that it's actually hot. And you're hoping not to get to that point. You're hoping to learn from New York City's warning of how bad it got. But, you know, these Zoomers have to party, man. There's just no stopping their partying. They just have to party. They love it. Super spreader world? That'd be depressing, dude. So instead of like jumping and killing a sprite, you just like poison it and it just like disintegrates each sprite that you come in contact with. That'd be fucked up. Yeah, it was only a matter of time, to be honest with you, because, you know, even if it wasn't this particular strain of coronavirus, a lot more antibiotics are being resisted by the bug that creates the illness. You know, the bug's adapting to the antibiotics that we give them. So, you know, pretty soon, like, you're not going to just be able to take antibiotics, like penicillin or what do they give you, amoxicillin, because the bugs are learning. You know, they're alive just like a virus is alive. You know, it's not just a thing; it's a living thing. Bitch. Yeah, viruses are very much alive. When you see these what the fuck? When you see these reports of them saying like, oh, the cheetah now has tested positive for coronavirus, or the mink has, it's a big deal, because from then on it could go back to reinfect a person, and at that point the virus could have mutated because of the interaction that it has with, you know, a different DNA type and everything. And that's exactly what you want to try to avoid, and that's why you have stuff like lockdowns, so you don't have to battle the same virus twice, you know, basically. Not just any virus, but the same virus but mutated here in this region might be different than that region because it infected this kind of animal, and now it behaves like this, or now it's immune to this. And you know, you want to become famous, it's not worth it, bro. It's not worth it. See what happens to these people that become famous. I gotta kill these motherfuckers for this guy to start and get his fat ass up. I thought he just gets up after the first guy, man. What the fuck? Tired of fighting these people. This guy too? When is he gonna get up? Man, this is taking way too damn long. Finally? Jeez. Bitch. Oh god, am I gonna die? Oh shit, I only have one life left. I better not fucking die, dude. This would suck. Make it to the end of the run and I fucking die. Yeah. That's exactly the case, man. But you know, the same people that can't comprehend that won't, oh shit, won't understand that a virus behaves that way. They'll just understand, well, you know, what do you mean? Or when can I, you know, there's just no deep comprehension of the world. And it's no surprise they touch fire and get burned, you know? I guess that's just what has to happen. You have to let them get burned. Oh, that's it. I'm supposed to stop it at the white flash. Well, I didn't die, but that last level I got gold. How the yeah, the doggo's down here. The doggo is down here. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I might just submit that time. I don't know if I want to keep running this one. I've tried so much to get